Hey everyone, today we're going to be doing some more meme reviews of r/nb. Uh, First one we have here. Uh-huh, sure, let's go with that. Me being more feminine than is socially acceptable, and my ma'am, or pretty sure that's supposed to be mom, saying he's just comfortable in his masculinity. Sweating bear. Yeah, I haven't had this happen to me, because luckily my mom knows about me. But I can imagine how uh, awkward that could be. How to educate the youth. My 3-year-old nibbling, counting the boys and girls in the car, counts me, my NBS. Oh no, I'm not brave enough for politics. uh, that, see, unfortunately, being NB, our gender is sometimes legitimately politicized. But yeah, just the boys versus girls things. As in, one of my favorite things I ever saw was someone talking about like those boys versus girls thing, but you have a non-binary person as a mediator, and I always found that hilarious because it's just like, yeah, no, that kind of fits. We're more of a neutral party and that sort of thing. Question: if someone is demigender, can we still refer to ourselves as NB? Danny and Danny are twin raccoons. So finally, uh, as you can probably tell, I've already visited this one before, but yes, demi boy and demi girl people can, and other demigenders, can refer to themselves as NB because we're not part of the binary spectrum. Because like how I always describe my gender, because I myself am demi girl. So how I always describe my gender is like a halfway point between woman and agender. So it's like half not having a gender and half do. So it's I feel kind of feminine and kind of like a woman, but calling myself a woman doesn't feel right, and I don't feel fully like a woman despite being trans-femme. So I know there are some uh, demi boys and demi girls, either demi boys using he, they, and demi girls using she, they. I use strictly they, them, but that's what I'm comfortable with. I prefer they, them, although I'm, I'm still, I don't hate using people using she, her, and like if I'm in public and just a random stranger uh, refers to me with she, her, then I'd be fine with it. But like for everyone that knows me closely, I'd rather them use they, them. I made a comment in my head about how my day couldn't possibly get worse approximately 5 minutes before. Why, why the fuck did I say anything? that that's always how it goes, isn't it? It's like this day couldn't possibly get any worse, and then it finds a way to get worse. Mother Nature deciding that I must make an immediate detour to the feminine hygiene aisle. Me already having a shitty day trying to get my prescription and get the fuck home. Yeah, I I can't relate, but I understand. I kind of it's unfortunate. Some I can sort of relate in the way that like if I don't shave every day, I will have facial hair and it annoys the shit out of me. And like every time I notice like, oh hey, I have facial hair, I just like, okay, time to shave. Um Even when it's just like it's I've literally been middle of the night on just like I'll look at myself in the mirror and it's just like, okay, shaving time. Doesn't matter, the only way anyone would see me is if I take a photo of myself. Doesn't matter. Still gotta shave. What's your gender? So what's in your pants? Create a character. Male, female, hardcore. Uh, Sometimes being NB really do be hardcore, hardcore. Sometimes being non-binary can really be hardcore mode though, because not only are you transgender, so yet like or technically transgender, and for me, I am just straight up. There's no denying the fact I'm transgender. I'm on HRT to become more feminine, to present feminine. And then on top of that, I am non-binary, so I I can get people that are NB-phobic. Uh, they're even if they themselves are something like trans. I've heard people having experiences with that before of transgender people being non-binary phobic, or that sounds so weird, NB-phobic. Um, and it just it's so weird to me, especially like a philosophy I adopted very early on in my non-binary journey was who am I to draw the line? And the basic idea of the who am I to draw the line is that because I identify this way, who am I to draw the line that someone else couldn't just decide to draw the line to exclude me? So why would I draw that line to exclude somebody else? It's it's one of those it and like taking that philosophy, it's so baffling. Uh, that some trans people are NB-phobic because like you understand the feeling of not belonging to your assigned gender at birth. Why are you discriminating against somebody that has a similar problem, just has a little bit more complex of an answer? It's it's crazy, especially if you're not from an English-speaking country. Me, non-binary people who do not dress androgynous or don't use they them, getting ready to answer the same questions every time they meet a new cishet person. Deep breath. Yeah. Um, like I use they them. I'm non-binary and am non-binary. I don't generally present androgynous. And I've only recently started going out femme, so it and I don't go out very much, so it's kind of hard. But I know online I I make it known I'm non-binary, but I don't try and like I guess I don't really try and hide the fact I'm trans-femme and everything. So, but I do still have to answer a lot of questions and I do still have to explain various things. I know I've personally come up with a way of uh, kind of explaining my identity to people. I have learned, or I kind of developed a shortcut that works for explaining my gender, and I call it the gender triangle. And the basic idea of the gender triangle being you start with 2 points that most people understand. You have man and woman. Then you add a third point on there, and you call it androgyny or agender. Uh, then you connect those 3 points. And like once they understand like what that is, I should say, once they understand what that is, you start connecting the points and start describing that there's people that experience things that are in between these three singular points. And uh, like for my particular gender, I'm a demi-girl. So my gender is I always say is a halfway point between women and agender because like there's certain parts of me that I feel I don't feel like any sort of gendered bit, but other parts of me I do feel like a woman. So So it's for me, Demi-Girl is like a middle ground. You're also gonna find people who also that don't really get like being outside of a man or a woman, and like my explanation for like pointing out kind of how ridiculous that thought can be, that there is only a man or a woman, that's like saying with everyone in the world you can only have your favorite colors be yellow and purple. Like, it's absurd to think everyone's favorite colors are either yellow or purple. And if someone answers like blue or red or black, like saying that no, those aren't real colors, those aren't real. It's such an, like, especially with what I think we have like over 8 billion people in the world. The thought that 8 billion people can be categorized neatly into two little boxes, it's baffling. Especially when those boxes have changed over time. There have been things that started out being masculine and things that have moved to be more feminine things, and vice versa. It's just it yeah it's so, once I started like digging into stuff myself and like really looking into everything, it just became so baffling, the idea that we have two rigid genders. That explains why so many of us pick tree related names. Odin carved the first man from an ash tree and the first woman from an elm. That proves that gods only created two genders. If men are ash and women are elm, then there are as many genders as there are species of tree. Yes, humanity is a forest. I I myself, in real life, uh, don't use a tree name. I do use a plant name though. When I first started getting into the NB community, there was the running joke that all of us have noun names. And like I knew this before I picked out my new preferred name. And like I accidentally stumbled into falling into the running joke because I named myself after a plant, and I was just like, I was literally on a baby name website and was looking through a giant list of names, and I was just like, oh hey, this one speaks to me. And it was like, I swear it was like a week later, I went and realized, wait, I have a noun name. Dang it. Uh but yeah, it's uh it's good to hear that I'm not the only one picking a plant name though. They think we're obsessed with pronouns, hating pronouns, transphobes, some agender or NB people. It really do be that way. Uh, they think we're so obsessed with pronouns and whatnot. We're just like, hey, can you use these different ones, please? Thank you. And like, I, oh my god, pronouns. I don't use any pronouns. It's just like I've seen people posting on, or like teachers posting online about parents coming to them upset because they're making their kids quote unquote woke with their lessons, and it's literally an English lesson on pronouns, which are a part of speech. It is a part of the English language. Like I, you, it, he, she, they, they're all pronouns. And it's just like, it's like whenever I say it, like, I don't use pronouns. And it's like, hun, hun, your stupidity is showing. Transphobes are fuming this one simple trick. I can't decide on whether you're a boy or a girl. Ha, what are you? A person. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's that is very much. So like Are you a man or a woman? I'm a person. You don't get more than that. If you feel the need to, like, if I tell you what my assigned gender at birth was, that's my prerogative. If I tell you that I'm non binary and explain my gender, that's my prerogative. Uh, but I don't, if you're just like, are you a boy or a girl? And it's like, you're asking a lot more complicated of a question than you realize. Variation of the one we read earlier. I like this one. Great character. Male, female, hardcore. Are you a man or a woman? I'm a gamer. What gender are you? Hardcore. Yeah, but what's in your pants? Skill. Yeah, it. See, I relate to this except for I am not good. I am not skilled. If you watch my series for Terraria, you what like I think I died for like I was dying on repeat for like 4 minutes straight just because of me being dumb. And it's I need to make a short that's just a compilation of all of those deaths. Uh just point just I like looking back and editing it, it was funny to watch. But it is it was so frustrating at the time. But yeah, it's like this format, um, a variation or like the original, the Invader Zim version of this format is my favorite. But this I like any of this style format. New gender just dropped, FML. Could also be fuck my life. But yeah, no. the, these are always great. New non-binary Overwatch hero drop. Overwatch introducing Venture. I heard about that, and this kind of makes me sad that I don't play Overwatch anymore. Um, just be just I would love to try out the new hero, and like like okay, I heard about this character coming out from a friend of mine, and they made the comment of like a lot of people were getting like really upset that Overwatch was becoming woke, and it's just like, fam, fam. The game has always had LGBT characters in it. The fucking mascot is a lesbian. How the fuck can you be so uh have so little media literacy to not realize Overwatch has always been supportive of our community. And it's like literally the literally Tracer has a girlfriend. There's an entire comic about her and her girlfriend. They do everything short of putting a freaking lesbian pride flag on her character model. I mean, come on now. Non-binary Mimikyu patch I made. NB Mimikyu, 60 HP. I adore this. This is so cute and wholesome. Mimikyu is like one of my favorite Pokemon. Just it, it's a they're a cute little guy. It's cute. Just they're just misunderstood. They just want to be loved, and I love them. My gender is no boys allowed. NB me, fem me to mask me. I think we're gonna have to kill this guy, Twilight. Damn. Yeah. Really do be like that. Um. Yeah. No. This this is kind of how I am, except for I still like my style is sort of still tomboy. So, but I very much feel this. For a time, I thought I was gender fluid. I also considered if I was Demi-Girl flux or gender fae, which if you don't know, if you're not familiar with those terms, gender fae is like, or to my understanding, is like gender fluid, but you generally only fluctuate between like the agender and feminine identities. You can't fluctuate along that scale. Whereas Demi-Girl flux is the same, except for the most feminine you go is Demi-Girl. So, uh, I considered like maybe I was on one of those two, but I consider myself more solid in me being a Demi-Girl, um, rather than fluctuating around more. Is my OBS filtering the yellow to be transparent? Hold up. Hold up. Oh my god, it is. Whoops. Glad I noticed that way. How many minutes into this video? 34 minutes into recording this video. Lovely. The four genders. Ah, yes, the four genders. He, him, they, them, she, her. Nope. that is such a mood, though. That is such a mood. What's the NB equivalent of a man cave called? So you have man cave. You have a she shed. They bay? Would that be a they? Like a bay as in bay a? Yes, bay as in bay. uh, bay as in BAY. A they bay? Because my mind goes to like sci-fi hangar bay. I don't know. I that don't ask me to name things. I'm not good at naming things. I was barely able to name myself. Okay, maybe I'm MB. Who knows? Proving to yourself that you're not cis enough to be a cis man. Proving to yourself that you're trans enough to be a trans woman. Hard. Easy. I mean, it's like okay, I can kind of get this because there's like a period of time where it's just like, okay, I'm probably not cis, but for me it was just like I was in the middle of college. Is like it was for me like figuring myself out. It really started when like three of my friends all came out to me as being transgender at the same time, and them kind of sharing their experience as figuring out their trans-fems and sharing r/trans with me, that I started realizing something was up with me. And so, like, there was a period of time where I was just like, and granted, I didn't know the term cis yet, but it's just like, I knew something was up, but I wasn't quite ready to figure it out yet. I just thought of, I didn't have the time at the moment. I'm too busy with college and everything else going on. I don't want to deal with this. We'll figure this out later when I have the time. Cue a few months later, in the middle of a sociology exam, having a sudden realization. Oh, hey, I don't vibe with being a dude or a chick. Is there something else? And then Googling that after an exam and figuring out, yes, there is something different. And then figuring out that finding r/nb, and that was another one that really started solidifying the fact that I was non-binary. And I think like this subreddit is part of the reason why I identify so hard with non-binary and have for for such a long time now. Like, I didn't used to strongly identify as trans. I used to, I used to more identify with. Oh, I just realized my mouth, I don't think is. I've got this entire video and not realized my mouth wasn't moving. Glorious. Just what I wanted. Got this entire video and you've just seen my head kind of bob around. You didn't see me actually talking. Oh. I'm so good at this YouTube thing. No, I'm not I'm not starting a new recording. I'm 45 minutes into the video. But, I am so good at this, I swear. Um, yeah, no. Um, I think, like, finding r/NB and really resonating with a lot of the memes on here is really what solidified me identifying as non-binary. And, it was really, like, it took me quite a while to really, like, solidly, like, oh yeah, I'm trans, and was proud of the fact I was trans. That, I've more so come into my own for that, but these memes here, and, like, the people I've interacted here on these subreddits for non-binary people has kind of, I think, is kind of part of the reason why I've always strongly identified as non-binary. And it's it's why I very much am very happy to share these memes with you, because these are, for me, this is kind of was the start of my journey. And now, oh dear, like 4-ish years later, I finally started HRT, and I've come into my own as realizing I'm a trans-femme on top of being non-binary. It's it makes me feel really good to be able to share all of this with you. But unfortunately, I think I'm gonna call it for today. I've been recording for nearly an hour now. This is probably only gonna get cut down to like a 15-minute video. So please, please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe on the video. Thank you all for watching, and bye-bye!